Greetings, y'all. It is Matt from the Green Arcade. Good morning. We're back. Playing some more Farming Simulator 25. We're getting fuzzy synced in here. Here he comes. Got the train in the background rolling. They've been rolling a lot lately. I guess they're still moving green. A lot lately. They've been rolling a lot lately. I think that came out as a lot lately or something like that. I don't know. But standing here in front of the case combine, I was going to go ahead and progress us on to the next harvest, which would be, I think, in October. But I stopped it here because I was checking the sales. And the CR11 is on sale. So we're going to go with that. Good morning, Jeff. Morning, Twitchy. So it is on sale. How much is that off? That is off 56%. That ain't bad. So we're going to get that. We'll do the Michelins. I think I want to stick with the duels and not the tracks. Let's see. Standard. Oh, you can change that to like a blue. I think I'm going to stick with standard. And we'll do the long pipe. Take the plate off of that. So yeah, that'll save us a ton of money. So that's $325. Alright, now all I gotta watch for is a grain header. And maybe another corn header. Probably another corn header too. Need to watch for that. So we will sleep. Go into October. Probably just had to buy those outright though. I don't see our luck being that lucky. Especially for both. But yeah, episode 1 of this series of Iowa Plains View over there on YouTube. If you guys haven't subscribed on YouTube, youtube.com/thegrainarcade. The episode 1 of this series has reached over 1,200 views. I was like, what? That's a lot of views. So yeah, appreciate everybody going over watching that video. Just awesome. Alright. So let's see. Everything should be pretty much ready now. Corn's ready. The beans are not ready. I did something here. I guess I slept maybe a day that went into the next month. So those should be fully ready in November. We'll wait on those. And the sugarcane is not ready yet. So we'll have to wait on that. The cotton is ready. I need to get the cotton picker going. I'm curious to see this process because this is the modified one. Love this big shed. Nice big shed. Got that really big door on there for the larger green header. Alright, I did not check the sale list either. Ooh, look what's on sale. This is the new tractor from EY Modding. That's the 60. That is not a bad price. How much? That's 51% off on that. It's an old school tractor. He's actually working on the 5088 series. He showed off a video on that on his YouTube. So let's see. What is the maximum? Is the maximum 200 on that? Can you do duels on this one? Yeah, looks like you can. Then it goes back to standard. Okay, so twin duels. We'll do the twin duels. So that's 200 horsepower. I don't know what we'll use this for, but it's really cool. So, and it's old school. I always like the old school stuff. So we will get that and try that out here. So that's 102. Yeah, we can afford that. This is in the kind of the generation of that 5088 series tractor. I think this might be the smaller one. Right now there's just that one, but that's pretty cool. I mean, we could probably pull a trailer with it or something, or I don't know. Oh boy, I need to remove some of these trees along this drive. You know what? Let me. Let me just remove the tree. You know, where's my chainsaw? Yeah, this one, it kind of sticks out there. I've had issues with this before. So it's gone. Go ahead and get rid of the stump while I'm here. Any of the other ones? I think the other ones are okay. Just really that one. But it's gone now. And I don't have to worry about traffic anymore. We turned traffic off to try to. We were actually testing the hired worker on the grain trailers. Could not get that to work, so. Yeah, Fuzzy, if you want to get the corn harvest rocking and rolling, there's plenty of corn out there to be cut. You can do that, or what else is ready? Well, that's pretty much it. We've got corn there, there, and there. And then we can't do the beans yet, and we can't do the sugarcane yet. Yeah, if you want to get started on the corn harvest, have at it. Quite a bit there. I'm going to get started on my Dr. Pepper. Yep, plenty of corn. And I'm hoping that those cotton bales will go on our loading trailer that we've got. You can just use the case on the corn. I'm probably going to have to buy another corn header and another grain header. I may just buy another corn header right now since we've got all the corn to do. And then we don't have really anything else left for a grain header other than the soybeans, and we can probably do all that with the case. Dr. Pepper, am I sharing? Sure. I get the how many cans is it? Is it like a 12-pack of cans? And they go straight into the refrigerator perfectly, and then the ends of them open up, so you can just pick them out one at a time, and then when you take one out, they kind of roll forward so that it's always at the ready. So it just automatically, it kind of automatically dispenses out of the box. So you just put the box straight in there. It's got little serrated lines where you open up the top corner of it, and yeah, that's how I do my orange soda that way and my Dr. Pepper that way. Both are zeros, by the way. Dr. Pepper 0 and orange soda 0. The only thing missing from both the in-game and this modded cotton picker is a beacon light and the hazard lights. You can't get the hazard lights to work on them. I think I can do the signal lights. So yeah, the signal lights work. I think both left and right, yeah. Those work. But when I go to engage the hazard lights, they don't work. I don't know why. That's very strange, and I've got it programmed to work. It should be with the same button. unfold this. I'm really kind of want to see how this works. Alright, cool beans, looks good to me. Hire that out. It's got that animated cotton dust. That's pretty cool looking. I don't know that the in-game one does that. I don't know that I've used the in-game case one. This is the modded one, so. It's gonna take forever for it to probably fill up too, so I'm gonna let him roll and I'll come back and check on him. Tab over to this stuff. There's our tractor. Love that old sound. Man, EY modding, he's fantastic. EY modding, he's brought a lot of the old school new stuff to FS25. Hispano, he's been bringing back stuff. I think he's getting ready to work on some new stuff too. JHHG, whole lot of modders out there that Agro Tanho. I probably butchered that one, but yeah, fantastic. I'm happy with the mods that are coming out. And the frequency in which they're coming out now too. So, alright, so what I want to do first, I don't see any on sale, so I'm going to probably have to buy one just outright. I'm going to get a corn header for this. And the big one. Let's keep it as the double PTO, and then we're going to change the color. I wonder what New Holland yellow is. Oh, there it is right there. So this is one of the colors that comes with the thing. So there's New Holland yellow right there. Cool beans, we'll do that. So that's another 168. Okay. And what I need to do is repair this. Gotta keep the repairs up on these, otherwise you'll start losing yield. I think that's still a thing. See where you started at, Fuzzy. Where did you start? Maybe, yeah, you're rolling, okay. So I'm gonna go over to that far field over there on the other side of the highway. Yeah, some of the beans are ready, but some out there in the middle are not. They will wait another month. Didn't take long to get full, does it? He's already full down here. So we may have to hire these out and then just me and you both run an auger wagon, grain cart, bin chaser, whatever you want to call it. this is where the pig barn once stood. Not there anymore. Alright, let's see, hire this out. We'll do 2 inroads. Alright, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and get the second grain cart. That way you can use that red one and I'll grab the new one. Probably going to take a little loan out here. That's okay. Yeah, it changed back to the chicken too. I noticed that. It still has that. It won't stay whatever mascot you choose, so. Start with about 500 thou. Okay. So now let me go get the grain cart. Probably just going to go with the same one. This is the one out of the Plains and Prairie pack. It's got the best realistic in-game capacity. Let's see. There's that blue, and then I think I'm going to go with New Holland blue. It's about the same. I'll leave the plate on it too. So that's 171. How much do we have left? 440. Go with another large tractor. Kind of already got one in mind. This is the T9 New Holland. This is from Hispano. Go ahead and put the I'll just do one beacon on that. Window tinting, I'll leave that regular. Main color, we'll leave that as the New Holland blue. I think we'll leave all of that. What is design? So that's that. I think we'll leave that as either the default black. Yeah, probably the default black. Engine color, we'll leave that. Rear window mirror. I think I'll just leave that alone. I don't even know what that is. I think it's a tinting. And then the seat color, what color is it now? Yeah, we'll leave that the same color. Crawlers. Oh, you can change the color of the tracks. I don't know how I feel about that. It's like changing the color of your tires. I will just leave those as default black. You can change your rim color. I think I'm going to leave those as default black too. Maybe white would be better there. Like the New Holland white. I don't know, that kind of like that. That rim color's all right. The rim colors on the New Holland tractors are all white, so. And then we will take the plate off there. So that's 501. So remember everything that we changed here. The only thing that we really changed was the engine size, I think. And the beacon on the left and the white rims. So I got to take out a little more loan. Got to come back. I wish I could take out some loan while I'm in the shop. That would be nice. Can't do it though. We'll just go to 600 here. That should get it. You know what? Let's go to 750. We need some operational money. Okay. Back to this. Back to that. That one. So we want the big engine. We want the left beacon. And then that must have been a save right there. I froze up for a second. Change the rim color to white. And then take off the plate. So yeah, this is in the mod hub for, I'm pretty sure it's for all platforms, so. Alright, now let me go grab that. Guy's full already. Now these tracks are more of like the quad track style tracks. The other tracks that were available on the T9 before were not this design. They were more of the, I'm not sure what the actual name for them is. They weren't A style. I'm going to call these triangle style or A style. Maybe triangle style, probably better. Those had 4 sides. So you had the interior and posterior sides there, and then you had a interior side that kind of went down in front there, kind of like a tank. I need to turn there, and then the bottom track. Yeah, see, I can put all my hazards on these vehicles. Just the cotton pickers. I don't know. It's those 2 cotton pickers, the in-game one and the modded one. Can't do the hazard lights. Very strange. I'll leave them on for now. Pretty nice setup in here. Again, Giants didn't give us the T9 in-game for 25, so I'm glad Hispano brought this one over. He's brought a lot of stuff over from 22. Not so much any of, really any of the DLC stuff, I would say, but a lot of the stuff that was in-game in 22 he's brought back. But he's pretty much, I think, almost said he's done with, or they are done with, bringing the old equipment back. Now they're going to start working on new equipment for 25, so that's good. We like to see new equipment, right? Alright, do you need me to hire your combine now? Or you know what? I'll just make you a farm manager, Fuzzy. If I can remember how to do this. Farm management. Fuzzy. Promote to farm manager. Yes. Alright, now you can hire out your combine, Fuzzy. If you want to run your grain cart. Again, it's still not dark, but it's still pretty dark outside here. I hope I can fit under here. He's right up against here. Just barely. Glad I did 2 inrows, so now I can have enough room to get in through here. this down on 6. Don't get stuck against the border. That happens here. The border is super close to, like, the actual playable area. I know a lot of modders, they'll put their border further back and then kind of set the border where you don't get stuck in it, but this one here you do. You get stuck in it quite a bit. Yeah, I was just talking about that, Fuzzy. I know that happened to you yesterday, too. I will say I learned a lesson yesterday, Fuzzy. I came in after, I guess you had left, and after I got done doing some stuff and eating some lunch and finished up the wheat harvest, I started dumping over in that silo right over there. That is not a farm of ours. That is actually a sell point, and I noticed that when the numbers started going up on our money. I was like, "Oh boy, this is not a silo. Hang on." So I took everything back to the farm there. So that is not a silo. That you do not own that silo. This is actually somebody else's farm, and that's a sell point. So keep that in mind if you decide to dump over there. It is not a silo. It is a silo, but you don't own it. It's a sell point. If you dump in there, you're selling your grain to them. I think I'm gonna wait till he gets straight and then I'll get up beside him there. think I'm gonna be at a slant on this incline here. I think it'll still work though. We're both going a little slower than 6. I'm going 5. And now he's speeding up. I guess there's kind of like a little bit of a beveled edge on the edge of this field that slows him down. I'm definitely on the beveled edge. Living on the edge. Gotta go faster. Living on the edge. Gotta get that corn. Any way you can get it. And he's probably going to slow down. Yep, he's slowing down just a bit. Yeah, Stevie released a video trailer for his Riverbend 4X map that's coming out yesterday. I watched a little bit of it, and I need to go back and watch the whole thing a few times. But it looks good to me. It looks like he's putting in the empty pads too again. So if you want to build additional production sites, or maybe additional cell sites or something, he's putting in those empty pads to do that on too. Corn can just go to the silo. Yeah, because we need regular corn and dried corn. Just put it in the silo for now. And then when we get the silo full, we can go ahead and start dumping in the dryer. I'm gonna have to bring a truck over here. Or just run over there and hit a truck. I might just run over there real quick and hit a truck. Let me do that. like right over here from it, so. Be nice if I could pull directly up to this silo, but the way this is set up, you can't do that. Probably put in some type of conveyor bit, but there goes Fuzzy. I'm like, who is that? Need to do a blue and gray one of that truck. And then we'll have both the Smokey and the Bandit trucks. Need to go back and watch Smokey and the Bandit too. I hadn't seen that in a while. See if I can match it up. I guess it's probably silver and blue. Yep, we'll be able to do our cornbread with all this corn, and then popcorn, and trying to remember what else we need corn for, but those are the big ones: the cornbread and the popcorn. And then we'll do. I think what I'm gonna do is, so the fields that we had. I'll say the fields. Some of the fields that we had, come spring, I'm gonna put oats in, and then do winter wheat where we had the oats. So, and the reason I'm doing that is when you look at the calendar, we would have to plant wheat now, which it'd be late wheat. So I'm not going to do any wheat right now because the fields down south that we had, so like this field down here, probably leaning more towards sugarcane down there, and probably doing corn over in these areas, kind of rotate those out. This won't be cotton the next time around, but the fields right next to the grain mill here, definitely want to do probably like the wheat crop, stuff like that. But where we had the barley, so right here, I'm going to come in and plow this field up and make it more efficient. And then once we get the soybeans harvested out of here, I'm going to do some oats, because if you look at the oats, whoops, there's a save. Come on, save. If you look at the oats, you can plant the oats in early March, and then you can harvest those in July. And then when you get ready to plant wheat behind those, do the winter wheat, you can plant the wheat in September. So probably going to do some oats because you can take oat to the flour mill. That'll help cover our flour bases. And then we can do fine oat flours. We can do the dried oat, I think. And then kind of focus more on the wheat side of things from there on. And then if we have room, we can still do barley or something like that somewhere. But yeah, probably do corn. Maybe this field again, maybe. And then maybe down here around the bottom where we had the wheat before. So, yeah, we'll do oats over there, I think. Because there's, those are the top crops that you need. You're going to need the corn, obviously, for the cornbread and to do the popcorn, and all that. And then you're going to need the flour, so you're going to need either wheat, barley, oat, or sorghum. So we might do sorghum somewhere. And honestly, we really don't need cotton. We could do another thing of cotton somewhere. Maybe over on that same side, maybe somewhere else. Change it up a little bit. And what I'm probably going to do is just sell the cotton bales kind of outright. Unless we want to buy the tailor shop, and then I could get the tailor shop and just set that to selling. We'd make more money on the tailor shop, but we'd have to buy the tailor shop. So I think that would be more of a long run type thing. I'm gonna let him get over here and turn, and then get lined back up with him. And then we still got our green beans and peas to sell. Need to look and see when those are going to be good to go. So green beans are actually probably good to go now or tomorrow. And then peas, we'll wait till the 2nd day of November. So I'd say green beans, 2nd day of October, according to this. And then peas, 2nd day in November. You definitely get more for the peas than you do the green beans. Green beans they look like they're almost equivalent to oat prices. Morning, Tomcat. How's it going? Turn, we'll do this. Oh, that's not hooked up. I was like, wait a minute. I'm glad that's phase throughable. I was like, I forgot I left that pipe open. That could have been really bad. Yeah, after watching that trailer for Riverbend Springs 4X by Stevie, I'm kind of wondering, is he going to go ahead and release that before the Highlands map comes out? Because originally he was planning on waiting until after the Highlands DLC came out. But looking at that trailer, it looks almost done. So if he does release it before the Highlands one, we'll move over to that one and get started over there. And probably what we'll do is right away not do any changes that would hinder a new game save. So what we'll probably do is we can buy fields, but not do any tree work, not merge any fields together, not expand any fields, you know, not do anything that would hinder a fresh game save, if one would be required after that. So probably just gonna hold off on all that. But if he drops the map before the Highlands DLC comes out, we'll go ahead and move over. Kind of the roadmap. I think John might have a similar roadmap. We talked about it yesterday, you know, having the Highlands DLC coming out on November 4th, starting that map, and then once Stevie drops the 4X Riverbend map, hop on that one too. So we'll be running two maps. Probably do a little switcheroo on those maps when we play them. So do one day and one the next day. And I'll probably do some independent YouTube videos, some solo YouTube videos. Work on some things. He's gonna go back that way, so he's probably gonna stop in the crop. I'll just have to run out in the crop. Probably need to do a maximum clockwise rounds around the field. And that way his pipe will always be outside on this field. But yeah, like what I've seen so far. This is weird on the YouTube app. They've made all the buttons smaller. Wonder if I need to update that, maybe to make them bigger again. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and share that link. Wonder, can I? Nope, I can't do that. Let me. Need to figure out how to do commands where you guys can just hit the commands. There you go. Post that in there. That is the link to Stevie's preview trailer. Maybe I wasn't in the YouTube app. Maybe that's why the buttons are so much smaller. Is that my guy? Yep, that's my guy. Yeah, he's probably gonna fill up. I'll just have to run out there and grab it once he does. Nope. He got full. One thing about the corn is it is a high yield crop. yeah, sometimes they do that, Fuzzy. Just let him do his thing. Just kind of stay with him, and eventually he's gonna start cutting whichever way is the most efficient. So just kind of go along with him. Have I tried the new International tractor? No, I haven't tried it yet. The one that we bought down at the shop. The old school one. The I can't remember the model number on it now. Where's that at? Is it here? Yeah, there it is. So the Super 70. I haven't tried it yet. Oh, looks like you can do 210 on it. Or wait, is that the same one? This is a different one. Maybe there's a large one and a small one. I guess we bought the small one if there is. Yeah, so there is a small one. So we own that one right there. So there's a 170 horsepower one. There's a 200 horsepower one under the small tractors. And then if you go under the medium tractors, there's a bigger one that goes for 235. Alright, he should be good to go from there. I'm gonna stop this right here and then go hop in him. Wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. And then we'll move either over there to Fuzzy's field or we'll hop over to that other field over there. Your guy figure life out over there? Yeah, looks like he's cutting maybe right there. Yeah, he's cutting right there. So if he's going north and south now, looks like you did maybe 2 inrows. I'll see if I can get my guy over here and then start going north and south over here. Thing with those is like if the inrow is already done, you have to set it up for the same number of inrows if you're going to do just the inside rows, and turn off your headlands so that they don't try to do the headlands again. He thinks he's not done, but he's done. There's no more corn there. Yeah, you're done. He's like, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't see any corn. You're right. I'm done. I've got all the songs from the Los Santos rock radio station stuck in my head. I've been playing a little Grand Theft Auto on the side. Alright, let's see. One headland on this one. Okay, so one headland. I'll know what to program my guy to. Let me go down here where it's kind of blocked off and starts. Kind of figured John Deere would come out with another combine. You know, right now their flagship is kind of the you got the S7 and then you got the X9. Kind of figured they would have come out with another version of either the X9 or come out with a completely new combine to compete with the AF11 and the CR11, but as far as I know, they haven't yet. Alright, so let's see if this works. We're going to go to the menu. We're going to do one headland. Okay. Then we're going to turn off work headlands. So this should work. Should just pull forward and line up here. Maybe he's got to figure life out. Sometimes they do that. Maybe, and he may be doing the line that's more. He'll have to come back and do that outside line because it's gonna. There's always gonna be that line that's gonna be narrower or smaller than one line. Just because the field won't match up perfectly with the width of the header. So you're gonna have one pass that's gonna be smaller than all the others. Alright, let me go grab the new tractor. Let's see, I want to check on this guy. Do we have any cotton bales yet? I'm looking. I have to fly around. There might be one like way out there somewhere. Come on, load. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, so that's one reason why I like this modded case cotton picker is it puts the covers on the top. So I think that's pretty cool. Otherwise, you're going to get the modules that don't have that. They're just going to be open, bare cotton modules with the in-game one. Surprised that Giants didn't think of this, you know. Because, you know, the John Deere cotton picker, it has... It wraps them in the yellow wrap. But it's nice now that the case does. That way, you know, if it rains, you know, your cotton doesn't get wet. Don't think you'd want your cotton to get wet. All right, that's the one nice thing about the cotton is you can just hire them and let them go. All right, so we've got 2 cotton modules, bale modules. Cool beans. I will say though, we do have the other John Deere harvester ready to go. You know what? I don't think I have it activated here. Pretty sure it's not. This is a red farm. Or well, a CNH farm. Yeah, I don't have it activated here. I've got it ready still in the folder. It'll do the expanded capacity. It's an older model, but it's got a larger tank option for 24,000 liters, so. I want the one that Sid did. Be nice if Sid Modding, if you're out there, bring back your, was it Sid Modding? I think it was Sid Modding. Bring back your X9 with the, I think it had what, 27,000 liter capacity. That would be nice. We have to go empty. Probably already should have done that. I'm about to be full. And I'm full. Let me go empty real quick. Or we can just put, you know, when we get to that point, you know, we're going to be on Stevie's map, so it would make sense to use the Stevie equipment. Just to use Stevie's combine, and his has, you know, the greater capacities. I know we went up to, I know they'll go up to 240. But maybe not use that much capacity. Maybe just use a little bit more capacity. Maybe like the first step up. So I don't know on the X9, I can't remember if it's, the default is what, 17,000 something. And then I think the next one up on the X9, if I remember right, is 60,000. I would have to double check my numbers. Probably go back and rework that. I'm stuck. Let's see, which way did he should be coming back up that small Yeah, he's getting that smaller sliver. So that's I've kind of gotten in the mindset of how the hired workers work, how the AI works on here. It just takes a while to figure out if you're not used to it. As far as the hired workers in the fields go, now the trucks and stuff, I don't know. No, wait. Let me go first. And you're going to cut that away. And maybe I don't understand the AI completely. Or maybe he's cutting out a little nook for him to go into. That's kind of random. Okay, so now we're going to go using what we like to call the right way. There we go. All right. He heard me talking about him. I think that's what it was. He heard me talking about, you know how Mater on Cars, he says, tractors is so dumb. He was probably getting ready for me to tell him, combines is so dumb. That's Frank. Watch out for Frank. It's funny how they set that up in Cars. So you have the tractors that are the cows, and then Frank is the bull, and Frank is the combine. If you haven't seen Cars. Cars is a great movie. One of the last few really great movies that came from Pixar. A lot of the new ones, I just stopped following them. I really haven't seen any of the new ones. I've seen bits and pieces of them, but they're just not on the level, you know. It's like they're really grasping for straws with the content, I guess. Disney used to make some great movies. And I saw where they're trying to go back to the traditional animated style, but you gotta come up with the great stories, and you can't keep, you know, using the same stuff over and over again, you know. You don't want a Aladdin 5 or an Aladdin 6, or, you know, you start doing that and then you're like the Fast and the Furious franchise. I mean, you're just, you know, you're trying to cash that cow, milk that cow as much as you can, get as much milk out of it, but it just doesn't work. Yeah, I like the log cabin in the homestead. I'm watching the Stevie Riverbend Springs 4X trailer over on my second screen. Got a lot of trees. I see a lot of trees we can work on. And some big fields. Big lake down in the south part of it too. You got the river that's extended out east and west, and then you've got a pretty big lake, looks like, down there. And looks like you can actually buy that, and there's access to it. It's like a bridge that runs across from one part of the southern mainland over to the island in it. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Oh, he's going over his crops there. So let's see what's in there. Let me get rid of that. No, how do I get rid of that? Get out of the way. Get out of the way. No. Trying to do this on my Apple TV over here. Problem is, in YouTube, when you pause it, it puts all that junk up at the bottom, like other videos you might be interested in. No, I'm not interested in any of the other videos. I'm interested in the video that I'm on right now. Alright, here we go. So now, let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Looking at the crops. I see poppy. See rye. Are we gonna have to advance it a little bit? Poppy, rye, spelt. As far as like the main crops go, that's the only additional ones that I'm seeing is poppy, rye, and spelt. And then there's probably a lot more under the miscellaneous. Okay, look and see. So yeah, under the miscellaneous, there's alfalfa, alfalfa hay. Beer keg. Lots of stuff. I'm gonna go further into the candy sweets. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing right there. That looks good to me. So I'm going to go further into the video and see if he actually goes through, like, the menu. Or maybe he already did. Just go under crops, because there's going to be a lot of extra production products in the map that he'll add to it. I know we've had pumpkin and watermelon from Stevie before. Yeah, here we go. Those are the base game crops. That's the growth. Go back to the other, Stevie. Go back to the other. Go back to the crops. And no, he didn't go back to the crops. So yeah, looks like there's more in the production side of things. So definitely poppy, rye, and spelt. I'm seeing alfalfa. It's down there under miscellaneous. Candy sweets. And a lot of this stuff is just from base game productions. It's weird. You know, they used to all be kind of grouped up under like the category for the map, and now it's all alphabetical. So it doesn't matter if it's base game or if it's modded in with the map. It's going to mix it all up alphabetical. So you really have to go through the list. So there's a corn dryer. So I see dried barley, dried maize, which is dried corn, dried oat. Let me go empty this. Whoa, look at my silos, they're all flickering. Might be a shader thing going on with this map. I don't know what's going on with this truck. The, it won't let me detach the, trailer. It says it's not allowed. Detach while folding. Detach while folding is not allowed. What about folding? That's that. Okay, now it's letting me do it. I don't know. I don't know what that was. It wouldn't let me detach it. Tell you what, I'm gonna put one truck on that other side, and then we can just empty into it too and back it in there. Kind of alternate. The axle, maybe, I don't know. It was weird. It says detaching not when folding, not available. Maybe the axle on the trailer. I know some of those trailers you can do that. I don't remember hitting that button though. So yeah, I need to go through the equipment mods that I've got and find the specific ones that I want to add to that 4X map. So definitely, you know, the John Deere, you know, the X9 Stevie John Deere, X9, the S7 probably. Maybe not so much the tractors, but definitely the combines. I think Stevie's got a P560 in there too that I might put in. And maybe a 790. You might have a 790 in there as well. That'll just make things a whole lot easier. Oh well, there's the bridge over to the island. I'm gonna watch this and do this at the same time. Looks like it's nothing but trees. Oh no, wait, there's a big old empty pad out there. Wonder what you would put out there. Maybe the fish stuff? If the fish stuff, you can do that. Oh, there's another island over there. There's not a bridge to that one, though. It definitely looks like a peaceful map. I'll say that. It looks like a very, very peaceful map. It's a very pretty map. He's done a good job on it. We have to go back and watch this and probably really focus on it more. I like the that there's hot air balloons. I'm gonna plow those fields together. I'm gonna plow those fields together. I'm already like, yeah, I can see where I can plow these together. Cut them trees. I'm gonna cut that tree. I'm gonna cut. Yeah, there's some individual trees there. I'm like, yep, that one's gonna go. That one. I need to get my can of spray paint ready. I need to just go ahead and get it ready. I haven't really used that a lot. Any of the spray paint, but I'll probably use some of it in the future. Go through and mark the trees, you know. I guess first we gotta own the trees. We gotta own the land that the trees sit on. I'm counting my trees before they're cut. It's a lot like counting your chickens before they hatch. I think I'm gonna do this 4X map differently. I think I'm gonna start with the smaller fields, no matter what they're in, and try to get into like the stuff that, you know, like the vegetable crops and stuff like that, and just get into that stuff first, maybe kind of kick off from there. Not go after the big fields, even if they're in beans. You know, it's really tempting to do that, but I've always done that. We've always done that, you know, if we find a field that's in corn or soybeans or something like that, and it's a big field, we'll grab that big field, and then we'll have to just work that big field over and over. But if we start smaller, start with some smaller equipment, and start with the smaller fields, start with a handful of animals too. Maybe like a trailer load, start with a trailer load of each one. Yeah, start smaller, start with some smaller equipment, and get into more of the stuff, you know. Get into, you know, oil making and sunflower and, you know, vegetable crops. And I do have that other Ropa harvester that will do the vegetable crops. Actually has a little bit of capacity and make it a little bit better because the in-game vegetable harvester, it doesn't have any capacity. So you literally have to run like a tipper next to it. Oh wow. Wow, you can make a big field right there. Ooh, you could plow all of that together. There's not a paved road in sight. Man, that's... Yeah, you can plow a lot of that together. I'm looking forward to this map. It's gonna be a good one. Oh, am I full? I'm full, yep. Wonder what our total capacity is here. This is not even the biggest field, Fuzzy. We've got this field, and then I think this is the bigger one. Yeah, it's definitely bigger. So when we get over to that one, I want to do as many inrows as possible over there. I may go ahead and move over there once I get a few more passes done here. Then go to the productions panel. So we can definitely put some more corn in the water mill. We can put dried corn in there too. Yeah, okay, so his plans are still late November. So after the Highlands map releases. I'll go ahead and empty this. And I'm gonna move on over there, I think. Oh, there's a ditch there. Forgot about that ditch. I have to go around. There's a ditch there, and then if you go further to the right there, there's a guardrail all the way down that way. Can't get into the field that way. You have to go through here. I'll just stop this right here. Go back and get the combine now. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to the right. Well, no, I could start it down there where I took the tractor. I was going to start down at that end and then work my way up to the tractor, but I think I'm actually going to start down here. That way I can kind of get with the combine right away. Oop. I think this header might have a little extra weight to it, and when you get going fast and turn a sharp curve, yeah, see, it's picking my back end up. The steering is pretty much null and void at that point, so not meant for high-speed travel. Needs to be a disclaimer on the header. Warning label: do not turn at high rate speeds. I think I can start right here. So I want to do as many headlands as I can. I can do 3 headlands, and then the lines will be straight, but they'll go kind of northwest-ish to southeast-ish. I wonder, I can change that though. Yeah, I can put that on 0. There we go. Now they go north and south. I think that'll work better. Probably because there's that corner down there, but I'd rather do them north and south. Kind of like we did the other field. Alright, so 3 rows and rows. 0 degrees. Work headlands first. And go. You gotta think about it. Yep, see, I can stay with him here. A lot of corn in this field. So then when you come over to this field, Fuzzy, you'll set your steering assist to 3 in rows, and then deactivate work headlands. You don't want to have any of that on, and then you'll just do straight lines, north and south. You'll have to change that to 0 degrees on the direction, the working direction. I thought that curve would be broad enough for him to turn. So that curve was broad enough for him to turn it. I'm gonna take my first break. This guy's gonna keep going. He's probably gonna stop. That's to be expected though. But I'm gonna take my first break and then I'll be back shortly. And YouTube, we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, remember you reap what you sow. Matt from the Green Arcade, we'll see y'all later.